Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Court of Swords. It's week something. And I think we're like 40, 45 or 44.
Every time we say that, I'm like, just wait for the hesitant.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Fresh off the, not the boat, the planes from PAX, we've got the gang back, and then Max, who just lives in San Francisco. That's it.
I don't live in San Francisco anymore.
Oh, that's right. You're in Chicago. Fuck, I gotta get used to that. You're still San Francisco.
I was gonna say too.
San Franciscan? San Franciscan. You're still San Francisco.
I'm from Chicago now. I'm back to the I was gonna say motherland.
Nope.
Doesn't make sense.
You're always a Californian in my eyes.
Always a Cali person now.
Yeah. You don't seem like a Chicagoan. What's a Chicago person called?
Chicagoan?
Chicagoan? That's just fun to say. I want to move to Chicago.
Chicagoan.
You don't strike me as a Chicagoan. I feel like that's like a term of not endearment. That's like a bad term. Are you sure it's Chicagoan?
Chicagoan? I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, clearly you're not from Chicago.
Too much time in California.
Yeah, it's been ruined.
Clearly,
I'm pretty sure it's Chicagoan though.
Okay, gotcha. How was PAX?
Chicagoan.
How was the 4-day-long convention that never ends? Great, you guys had a fantastic time.
I mean, I was just, I'm so used to it now. I'm so used to these long ass conventions because PAX and Gen Con and PAX East now is 4 days. Like,
yeah.
Eventually, they'll all blend together, and we will never be allowed to go home, and we will just live in hotels.
I mean, you don't have to go.
No, it's true. We don't have to. You didn't go.
Yeah.
There was one tweet where you were like, maybe I wish I had. Nah, never mind.
That was at the beginning of PAX when everyone's like, yay, PAX. So then Monday hits and like, fuck, it's one more day. This is crazy. Why is it 4 days?
Yeah. I forgot it was 4 days too. And I'm like, oh, everyone should be getting back from PAX. And I saw people tweeting pictures from the show floor. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's still going. Like, I forgot.
Yeah.
I actually had a really good time this PAX because I managed to not spend the whole time just like doing panels and like being busy. Like I got to just hang out with my friends and play board games and like kind of the way I used to do PAX before it was like a work thing. Yeah. So that was actually super nice. I just like played some card games and hung out and it was great. I had a good time. Yeah. This was a good one. Yeah.
Dan, you're in the area, so it wasn't too bad for you, right?
Yeah, just a quick drive there every day. So
yeah.
It was very, very, very work heavy for me, so I didn't really enjoy it too much other than the parties afterwards.
Yeah.
I was partying in an aquarium.
Aquarium was a badass place to have the party.
It was pretty cool.
It was great.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I was kind of like, motherfucker. I didn't know that at all. And then I see everybody, tweeting about it. I'm like, the one fucking time I don't go to PAX Prime, like in years and years, and they have it in an aquarium. Like, what? Why? But that's good to hear. It was cool.
The staff was so cool, and they made it so much more fun because they were doing like live shows, and they even had like, you probably saw pictures of like the person submerged in water dancing underwater.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Did the first thing that came to mind? I think Ann maybe tweeted this out or something. I remember Ann making a comment similar. Did anyone get like too drunk to like be around animals? Was anyone a little bit?
That was my whole thing about it too.
Was anyone a little weird with the animals?
17 Twitch broadcasters drowned, killed by an octopus.
I know, right?
Howard's revenge.
It's got to be a weird mix.
I don't think we were very well chaperoned. There were a lot of employees of they've done this before with a drunker, looser crowd than that. So I think it was mostly okay. But there were definitely people hovering so that if somebody leaned over to like check out the sea urchins, it was like just they would get descended on by somebody be like, oh hey, you want to learn about a sea urchin? You drunk idiot.
Yeah. And what were you gonna say?
Well, like sea urchins are like obviously very spiky, and so I was like, you can touch them if you're careful and you avoid the spikes and like that kind of thing. But I just was like, this is gonna get really bad because there's an open bar, multiple open bars, everyone is drinking, and somebody's gonna be like, oh, we touched the sea urchin, and just like get stabbed in the finger.
Yeah, I think that was your tweet that I saw. But
yeah, I didn't hear anything about that happening, but it was a really cool venue. I feel like the Twitch staff are kind of realizing that we're not all like. We don't want to go to like a club.
Yeah.
After like a day of a convention, we're all fucking tired, and I just want to I want to touch a sea anemone and drink alcohol.
And talk to your friends and be able to hear each other.
And I gotta say, I'm impressed you said that correctly the first time. You stuttered a little bit. I thought you were gonna fuck it up like I would 100%, but you nailed it. You said it right.
Anemone. I watched Finding Nemo. I know how to say it.
Yeah.
Anemone.
Yeah, see an enemy.
So it was a really cool venue.
See enemies.
I was talking to one of the staff members. They said that they've had parties in the past where someone did puke into one of the petting areas, and they killed like everything in there because it's a very controlled environment.
That sucks.
Oh.
Yeah,
That makes me sad. Fuck that guy. Did they kill him right after?
That's why there were guards everywhere. Like if you got near it, they were like, "Oh, what's up?"
I wonder if they have to take out like an insurance clause or what that is. Like, if you want to rent the place, if you have to have party insurance or some shit. I don't know how that would work. Seems like kind of a big deal just to destroy an entire like aquarium.
Yeah, like ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
With your stomach vile.
Areas that were not supervised, where I was like, man, if I were really wasted, I could totally like climb up.
Yeah, just saunter off and.
Yeah, there were a lot of just random parts of the aquarium that you could go to that there weren't any staff there. So.
Huh. What were they? I know they had the sea creatures that you mentioned already that I'm not going to say the name of. And
Fish.
I think I saw some otters, some sea otters. What else was there?
Yes. Otters. There were all the fish in the big thing. They had sea cucumbers that you could touch. They had sea anemones that you could touch. They had starfish that you could touch. They had sea urchins. They had a big octopus that was really cool. They fed it and people watched and it was really awesome. They like poked it with a stick. There was an otter that was just floating around in the water on his back. It was really cute because he would just like boop into the glass and then like bounce away and just float off.
He was tired, man. You guys were
cute.
Interrupting him.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I did see you guys were mentioning that being a party. Aaron showed me a clip of when the person like first got in the aquarium or whatever, and they were playing Sandstorm. I was like, yep, that's the.
It's all dark, and then Sandstorm starts playing, and then they light it up, and there's a person like scuba diving with a Twitch shirt on, like doing this in the water.
Yeah,
they were doing like my level of DJing though, because they didn't. There was no fade out for the. They just cut the music and started talking on the PA.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, it was pretty abrupt. Adam, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying it was pretty quiet because I think that, as far as I can remember, it's the first Twitch party that I've ever gone to that was like partner broadcasters only, like an invite only party. And so it wasn't like how they sometimes are, where it was just cramped. Like there was lots of room. You could just like walk around and have like a normal volume conversation with people.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was really cool.
And there was no way for general public to just get in, like random people that weren't part of Twitch, unlike all the bars and stuff we've done it at.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. How was PAX in general? Were there a lot of people at PAX Prime? It's packed as always?
It seemed like less than the last year, like for people-wise. Saturday was still pretty busy, but the other days were kind of light. I don't know. It seemed like there was less than normal.
How, like, what was that?
Probably because it's so close to TwitchCon, a lot of people are like, had decided to go to either this one or TwitchCon.
That's true.
So I think a lot of people probably chose TwitchCon over this.
Yeah,
that was me.
There's TwitchCon, and then the next weekend is PAX Australia, and then the weekend after that is BlizzCon. It's 3 weekends.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going all three, maybe, probably, but that's
you're
a lot of conventions.
You're gonna go all three?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I
thought that's what you said. I was like, well, you're fucking stupid. No. What are you doing?
I'm for sure going to TwitchCon, but I'm like kind of debating whether or not I even really want to go to BlizzCon.
I'm not going this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
They don't. There's nothing like. What are they going to announce? They're going to announce some Hearthstone expansion. They're going to announce some Overwatch bullshit. They're going to announce probably another paid class in Diablo 3 when you can just play Path of Exile for free. So there's no point to even play that to begin with. I don't know what unless maybe they throw Destiny shit in there for some reason. Like, even though there's no correlation.
That'll even be after it comes out for PC already. So
yeah. I don't know what they throw at. I don't know what makes BlizzCon exciting this year, unless they're just going full blown esports this year.
Maybe. Whenever I've gone in the past, it's always been just to go like hang out with you guys and get dinner, and then also have a reason to go to Disneyland.
That's the only thing I'm kind of, and that's
pretty
kind of
much it
with TwitchCon as well.
TwitchCon is in Long Beach, so like you may as well just go to Disney while you're in town for TwitchCon.
True. True.
That's the only reason why I haven't. I might go to like one day. Are you resizing, Adam, the spider webs? Is that what you're doing right now?
No, you're hallucinating. I'm not doing anything.
I saw that spider web move and I'm like, oh god, I've been up for too long. Adam better be moving that.
Oh, wait, I have a story. Okay, do you guys want to hear the most horrifying thing that's ever happened to me?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
100%.
I got dinner at PAX with a bunch of Twitch staff. It's really great. We had tapas.
Mhm.
And so we're just like eating and having a good time. And my girlfriend is sitting next to me. She gets a cocktail of some kind. And I was like, oh, what's like in your ice? She was like, I don't know, what is that? So I like picked up the piece of ice from her drink and I like couldn't figure out what it was. I'm just like looking at it or whatever. It's like melted in, it's like frozen in the ice, right?
Yeah, inside.
I know where this is going.
I'm just looking at it and I'm like, that's weird. So I start melting it with my thumb because I'm just like, all right, if I just hold this down, it'll melt and then this thing will come out. So like it melts and I have this thing on my finger and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is it like a piece of food? Like, what is this that like was in your drink? And I'm just kind of like messing with it. And my girlfriend goes, I want you to put that down now. I was like, okay. And I like put it on my table and she goes, or on my like plate or whatever. And she's like, I think that's a spider leg. And I actually lost it because I fucking hate spiders. And I was just like caressing this like thing. But
What is that?
I wanna know what happened to the rest of Spider Captain America.
That's what I said.
Where did the rest of him go?
Like, we just finished eating all this food. Where was the rest of the spider? There was one leg, and she didn't finish. She didn't finish the drink either. Smart, right? But where the fuck was the rest of it?
Did you get like some calamari or anything? Because that might not have been calamari.
I don't know. Dude. We ate a lot of.
One kind of tinier piece,
Yeah,
still fried,
crunchy, a little crunchy.
little tinier piece.
Oh.
Yep.
Kind of clung on a little bit as it was going down the back of your throat.
When my
if you ate most of it, that means you won the fight. You defeated that
true.
spider. You killed it. It was dead already. You ate it. It's fine. You win.
when
I swallowed it and it laid eggs in my stomach, and it's one day I'll die.
yeah, that's fine.
Dead things can't.
Spiders
lay
turn
eggs.
into face huggers. That's evolution. That's the basis of aliens, actually. Believe it or not. When
Sounds right.
My former roommate, when I lived in Dallas, went to a Whataburger and got a large water, and he drank about half of it, and I forgot why, but he like opened up the top. I think maybe just to like take off the thing because he couldn't get the water with the straw, or something like that. And when he opened it up, at the bottom of it, there was about a cockroach like that big, just laying in this water that was alive. That was alive, and it was squirming around.
You got a free roach juice.
He immediately.
That's just expensive.
I've never seen someone throw up so fast and so violently upon seeing that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bugs in food or
That's
something
so
I've been
fucked.
around for sure. It's gross. It's fucked up. It's real fucked up.
I don't like, bugs all up in my shit, but I find that I'm not as freaked out as them by like other, as long as they're like leaving, like spiders, for instance. I see a spider in the corner of that, like right there. Like he's
Well,
not
you
doing
wanna leave
anything.
spiders
if he gets
alone.
in my range.
You want to leave them alive?
Yeah, no, they
man.
kill bugs.
Yeah.
They kill fucking like mosquitoes and shit like that. I hate mosquitoes much more passionately than I hate spiders. Like I'll keep a little spider bro chilling to kill any mosquitoes that enter my domain.
I like how nonchalant you are until you get a cup of water that you've been drinking from that has
Oh no, that would be fucked.
So,
I'm not comparing it in that way. Like that isn't gross.
No,
That
no,
is
the
gross.
spider's gonna take care of the other bugs in your drink.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to pour some spiders into your drink before you drink it. That's everybody
Yeah,
knows that.
they make it safe for sure. Make it a little bit safe. Yeah,
Spider filtered water, new thing.
yeah.
Nice.
I remember
I'll get one of those
after
spider filters.
that incident with my roommate, anytime I would go get fast food, no matter where it was from, I would always take the top off before I drank it, no matter what it was, because I
Yeah.
was always so afraid of that.
I'm paranoid now. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll make you super paranoid when it happens.
I'm just thinking of all the times I just drank without even looking inside a cup.
It's
Yeah.
scary. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever looked inside my drink.
I probably shouldn't say this because Adam's going to be here in like a week, but there's been a lot of scorpions here at the house the past couple of months. And so anytime I go to like get shoes or anything that's on the floor, no matter what, I have to check them, or I'll fucking just worry for the rest of the day. Like, what if a scorpion's in my shoe right now? Like, what if?
I'm all good, but I'm all good with scorpions. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
no big deal.
You're
If I,
upstairs,
found
though.
one in my if I found one in my shoe, I'd be like, God damn it, scorpion, get out of my fucking shoe.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't like. I'd probably be okay.
There haven't been any. All of them have been downstairs. No one's sleeping downstairs, so you should be fine. But
There you go.
Scorpions are just so nuts looking. Like when you just actually see one in person, like, and you're like, fuck, man.
I don't like them because they're deceivingly fast. Like you look at a scorpion, you're like, that thing's not going to be fast at all. Like there's no fucking way. And then they start moving, and you're just like, all right, and you fucking start running away.
Yeah, you try to run away, and then they throw that hook at you, and pull you over, and they pull their face off and breathe fire all over you.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
It's crazy.
Fucking scorpions, man.
There's definitely the thing with scorpions though is there's like a certain size that they reach that makes them look fucking super intimidating. But if they're smaller than that, you're like, oh look, it's a cute little baby scorpion. But if they reach to like where their pincers are noticeable in size, that's where you're like, well,
yeah,
this is some fucking Jason and the Argonauts shit. We got to fucking run right now. I'm not fighting these scorpions at all. We got to get away. So hopefully those don't show up during the live show. That'd be great if they didn't.
Live show interrupted by scorpion invasion.
I mean, it won't be you guys. It'll be me not on the show. Just, oh God.
Just horrified screaming in the background.
JP's doing
Roll
bugs.
initiative, JP.
Yeah.
We got to go. JP and Scoots have been killed by scorpions.
Yeah, they've taken over the broadcast. They're just going to run the entire live show. The scorpions.
Now I'm just imagining you with your fucking Searsall on full blast and some like bike goggles on, just blasting them.
Yeah.
Yes, this is good. This is better than the live show. We're just going to have scorpion fighting large.
Well, scorpion cam. It'll be good times. It'll be good times. Max, what about you? You didn't go to PAX. What have you been up to? You're probably just enjoying being home after all your trips.
I'm
right?
loving just being home, setting up stuff, enjoying the space that I now have compared to like what I used to have, especially in the kitchen. Yeah. Oddly enough, I haven't cooked anything yet, but that's coming real soon. But yeah, I've just been chilling here. I went to the Renaissance Festival yesterday for Labor Day. That was cool. They have the Bristol Renaissance Festival in Kenosha. It's in Wisconsin.
Did you get turkey leg?
It's really cool. Yeah, but it wasn't as good as it's the first time in a long while that I've had a turkey leg. And I was like, this one's not so good.
Man, that turkey leg we had at Disney like 2 years back, I still remember that turkey leg not being good.
Yeah, it was okay. The turkey leg from Disneyland was, I can do with an okay turkey leg. This one was just kind of, I don't know. It wasn't really like roasted. It didn't taste very roasted.
It didn't taste like a turkey leg. It tasted like they had juice that was sprayed on it to taste like turkey leg. So really what you're eating was like some random piece of meat to look like a turkey leg.
I've heard ostrich.
Wait, really?
There's all sorts of, I've heard that.
You can
I
eat
don't know
ostrich
what if any of it's, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, motherfucker's like a meter long.
Yeah,
well, like, get him in there.
Isn't that just all muscle? That's probably not even like tasty. It's just fucking raw muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that. That was cool. They didn't, it surprised me a bunch because every Renaissance Festival that I've been to before has always had Scotch eggs, and I've always loved Scotch eggs. If you don't know what Scotch eggs are, hard-boiled egg with like sausage around it and fried, basically. So good. And usually they give you like a little dipping sauce with it. They didn't have it, and no one I talked to there had heard of it at all. And I don't know if it's like a Midwest thing, just not knowing what the fuck a Scotch egg is.
Those damn Chicagoans,
Those damn Chicagoans.
Yeah.
No, if it's a Renaissance festival, they shouldn't have Scotch eggs because the Scotch egg was invented in 1738. Max. Speaking of which,
and they also shouldn't have Altair from Assassin's Creed and some random fucking
I saw a photograph of you on Twitter, and there was a plastic cup involved, and I was very upset. You were ruining that Renaissance Festival, Max. I'm very disappointed in you.
What'd you bring us?
Listen, I made a choice. They had Long Island iced teas available, and it made sense for somebody with a baby bladder like mine, being responsible, knowing he's going to be walking around, doesn't want to go to the bathroom all the time. I'm gonna take the liquor option at least to start, so that way I get the little buzz going, and then you don't worry about it later.
Wait, you can just buy a Long Island, just walk around with it? Oh,
yeah,
that sounds pretty all right.
It's pretty great. Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, oh fuck yeah, that's great. I didn't have any mead though, which kind of disappointed me. I just didn't go back and get mead. I always try to.
Mead is so hit and miss. Like good mead is really good, but bad mead is like the worst.
Erin had mead when she was in Sweden and was like ranting and raving about it. And she said it's not possible to get it in the U.S. really. Like it's not common.
No, there's meaderies in the Pacific Northwest for sure.
I knew she lied to me.
I remember there's meaderies in Colorado that I bought from before when I lived there.
Huh.
The problem is if I'm of semi-sweet, because if you get the really sweet mead, I can't fuck with that. It's just really fucking sweet.
I thought you were saying like personally, I was like, man, I don't.
No, they have different like types, right? So it's either sweet, semi-sweet, and there might be like some other one in there. I'm not an expert by any means, but semi-sweet is where you want to be, at least if you're like me and you're not particularly keen on stuff like overly sweet. especially when I'm drinking any sort of booze. Anything that's like super sweet and sugary, I just can't really do that. But I didn't have any mead. But other than that, it was great. Their axe throwing was fun. But I think the one in California was a little bit better. That's all I really did, though, was go to the Ren Fair and stream a little bit. Played some Mario and Rabbids. That shit's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing through that more.
I think I fucked myself over, though, enjoying that because I played so much XCOM, like, right before I jumped into it.
Yeah.
So I was...
So you just like, this is an XCOM?
Yeah, I was like, this is baby's first XCOM. Like, I couldn't get that through my head.
I mean, it is that.
I couldn't, like, process that I'm not playing XCOM. I was just nonstop comparison, which sucked.
I also like the idea that I can take that with me. Like, I'm going to look forward to playing a lot of Mario and Rabbids on the go.
Yeah. Adam, do you have a Switch,
That's a perfect
by the way?
on-the-go game.
Random question. Do you have a Switch? Bring it to live show. Because I got Scoots a Switch, and I got a Switch, and we could play Mario Kart.
Thanks.
That'd be great.
Ooh.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah, I'll bring it. I'm gonna bring Star Wars Destiny too, because I want you and Jesse to check it out. Yeah, game is awesome. I just started playing it at PAX and I bought way too many boosters.
Is that a card game?
Yeah, it's like Fantasy Flight. It's like collectible card game, but it comes with little dice. So you're you get your little Luke Skywalker and he's got a little die, and so it's like a card game, but you have to. There's some randomness to it, so you got to roll dice. I'll show you. It's real cool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Dan, I heard you got up close and personal with Knack 2 today, and you got a little little angry at it because he's made the difficulty too hard.
Yeah. Some companies, especially those with games that aren't, going to sell well, they balance everything around one difficulty, and then to make the hard difficulties, they just double all the damage or something, and then they don't test it. And this Knack 2 on the very hard setting has some fights that are just goddamn near impossible. You have to get lucky to get through it because there's stuff shooting at you and meleeing you, and they all have different timers, and you can only block once, and the lower health you get, the less your block blocks, and it's so many mechanics that are just bad. But saying that, the game is actually way better than the first game, and is actually pretty fun.
Is it story-wise? What do they do? Because no one actually finished the first Knack, right? They just played it for 5.
I did.
Was that a horror month game, Dan? What the fuck are you doing, man?
I mean, it was a launch title. I bought it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish this stupid thing. It was okay. It was nothing great. Just about the origins of Knack, really. It's just like this game. The story is not anything all that great, but the gameplay is a lot more like the 64 era platformers. Where there's a lot of platforming sections and some combat sections in between. And it's feels good. It feels like a Crash Bandicoot game now. It's actually pretty fun.
This is not me speaking. This is the chat. I just want to say this comment. Dan, it sounds like you had a knack for it.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't take credit for that. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. You gonna jump into Destiny and all, Dan? I saw you were tweeting about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do that tonight.
Yeah.
When it officially launches.
Yeah, everyone's getting the press thing. If you got the press key, it works. It went live this morning at 8, but they didn't tell anyone that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of shitty, but whatever.
Yeah, it was a weird launch.
It was a real weird launch.
A lot of weird stuff going on with the launch.
Yeah. I hope the PC launch is not as bad in that aspect of it.
Yeah. I'm still mad that the PC version's a whole month and a half later.
Oh, yeah. I had my rant earlier today. I was very upset. It's 60 days from now, basically. You realize it's 60 fucking days.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So that's why I'm going to play the console version today just a little bit, just to see if I even want to play the PC version. If the content is good enough, after you get a few hours in, is it worth playing?
I know.
My biggest question.
Well, go ahead. No, go.
I was just going to say my biggest question was just, I haven't talked to enough people that were huge fans of Destiny 1 and have played and touched the Destiny 2 beta and all that. My biggest question is going to be from those people, does it feel like Destiny 2 or does it feel like Destiny 1.5?
Apparently that's a term that just immediately triggers Destiny fans. So I'm going to use that as much as possible.
I'm just saying, is there enough content there? And is it compelling enough, where they change stuff enough where it feels like, the sequel as opposed to just more of the same?
Yeah, it took Goth 8 hours to get through the story. Obviously, the story's kind of the first part of Destiny.
Yeah.
I think
the story stuff was beaten in 9 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he did level 1 to 20 in 9 hours. 8 to 9 hours. Goth also is kind of a power gamer. He didn't skip any cutscenes. I think you could probably do it in 7.5 if you did, but he knows what he's doing, obviously, in that game. So he kind of can run through it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, then, you got to gear out and the raid comes out next week and all that stuff. So it's all going to be figured out by the time it comes out on PC. That's what pisses me off. That's why I want to play the console version, so I'm at least part of the craze and the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the best parts about it, like MMO, like with WoW, is when it first comes out, everyone's fresh at it, no one knows what's going on, you all got to learn it together, and that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
And they're kind of robbing the PC players of that.
They are for sure. Dan, I'm back into Path of Exile, by the way. It's not healthy. I've added another 100 hours to my playtime now.
That game will suck you in and keep you playing. It's because you're just thinking like, man, what if I just did like an axe this time?
Well,
you start thinking.
I'm on the Shaper craze now. I'm getting close.
Oh. You're going after his ass.
I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I start Guardians tomorrow or the next. I finally got enough competent gear. I bought I did this last night on just the three of you just tune the fuck out for a bit. I got I ended up getting 600, 700 chaos in 3 days of just farming and selling shit. So then I bought a 6L Belly of the Beast today for 535 chaos, which is real good, obviously. And then I've started crafting a bunch of weapons and stuff now, so I'm getting closer to Shaper level gear, but it's a grind. That's a fucking grind getting that to get into Shaper. It takes a long time for someone who's obviously not experienced with the game to learn all that shit. So we'll see how it goes.
To everyone not familiar with that game, JP just said that he got good than he was.
I got better than I was. Yes.
Yeah.
A large part. Apparently, according to the community, 6L is 6 linking a chest is not something that the majority of the community does because it's so rare. Yeah. It's got to send help. You should have made it the black background, though. It looks better. Can you not center that either? I'm disappointed in your production, Adam. All right, that could have been done better.
Is that an app that you just type on there, or is it just
It was just Google Translate. I just translated it from Japanese to English and then put it in big text and put it up.
Oh, smart. But yeah, Path of Exile still. It might keep me from playing Destiny on console, which is kind of nice. So,
I tuned in briefly when you were playing one of these nights, and you just looked like you were fucking stacked like crazy. You were just, I don't even know what you were doing. You were just shooting whatever the fuck you were shooting at people. I was just I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah. You get into a groove towards the end of that game. And the entire game is about making sure everything you do is the fastest you can do it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying because if you're doing something wrong, the community will tell you in the most aggressive way possible that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that strikes me as a very pro backseaty kind of game.
I've gotten real triggered a couple times by people just telling me it's ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't play that game.
Neat.
It's super addicting. Don't play
I do want to play it, but
no, you don't.
No, you don't. You think you do,
I've put 180 hours and 3 weeks into it. Don't play it. It's not healthy. But it did it ruined my sleep schedule, and now it's fixed it. So that's kind of nice. A couple of 20-hour.
Yeah, you said your sleep schedule's fucked earlier, and I was like, that sounds like a normal sleep schedule. It sounds like a healthy, normal sleep schedule.
Well, it's fucked because I only sleep 6 hours. I was up for 30 hours yesterday. I only slept for 6 because my body's like, "What are you fucking doing? This is not normal," and it hasn't adjusted yet. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, and you're fresh off a plane. If you've gotten a second to collect yourself, you literally rushed home off the plane. So, where are you at? You good?
Yeah, I had about an hour and 20 minutes between my original flight, and RollPlay. So I was like, all right, cool, I can totally make it. That'll be plenty of time. And then we got on the plane, no delays or anything. They just put us on the plane. And then once we were on the plane for 10 minutes, the pilot comes over the speakers and says, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're about number 17 for departure. And
Ouch.
The entire plane was just like, what? Did he just say 17? I've never heard him say number 17 for departure. So we waited for about 45 minutes just on the plane before we even took off. So that's why I'm like kind of eating over here at the same time because I haven't.
Means, yeah.
Yeah.
No one will judge you for that.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Gunrunner's tweet. There were fire engines. Did you see any of that? Someone saying he was saying there was fire engines earlier at the airport. I don't know if you saw any of that.
No, I didn't. But there's wildfires like all over the place, and there's a bunch of wildfires up in Washington and stuff. So I think that was why some of the played.
Did you see those from the plane when you were landing in LA area, or no?
I didn't.
Okay, I saw a photo.
I also never seen it on the window, so.
Yeah, the whole Pacific Northwest is on fire right now. Like outside, it's all orange and weird, and there's like ash on everything.
I saw.
It's the end of the world.
There's a photo from whatever the Harry Potter place is in Universal City or Universal Studios, whatever, in Southern California, where it was like the Hogwarts castle and like whatever the stupid roller coaster they have is, and then literally the hills behind are just on fire. And it's not CG. It's literally the hills burning.
It's God's wrath. It's God's wrath finally come for those heathens of Harry Potter.
It looked
to
real
send them to
crazy.
hell where they belong with all the other witches.
Yeah, I think
Cool coaster.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite websites are iscaliforniaonfire.com, and it just says yes all the time. And then whereiscaliforniaonfire.com, and it just lists all the places that California's on fire.
Jesus.
There's a website like that for I saw it a long time ago for like a medieval history class that I was taking in university, and it was are France and England at war? And you put in a year, and it'll say whether they were at war.
Oh, that's great.
Which happened a lot
in
medieval times.
That's brilliant.
I love those websites. They're so good.
Yeah.
What the fuck should I eat for dinner? It's useful. I just want robots to tell me yes or no to everything from now on forever. I'm done. I'm done making my own decisions. Fuck it. Skynet, go.
Yeah. Yeah. Be good.
What's what the fuck should I eat for dinner? Is it what the fuck should I eat for dinner.com?
Something like that, yeah.
I've been trying to go to all of these. So far I hit the first two that Anne I'm sure
Are they
I'm not
all?
alone.
Do you think are they all the same person? Someone should make an aggregate site to where you can Google, like make a decision for me or something, and then you put in your list of decisions you want made, and then it takes you to the website. I don't know what you would call that.
This website is great because it's just so crude too. Like, what the fuck should I make for dinner.com? Try some fucking basic brown tempeh. I don't fucking like that. I don't fucking eat meat.
Yeah.
Don't burn down your house, or you're making some fucking pepper steak. Cool.
Does it give
Yeah,
you
mine
recipes?
says skillet baked green trout.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives you recipes? Damn.
Yeah, then it links you to the whatever website,
Cookster.
Cookster. Yeah, there you go.
That's fucking cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
They didn't do one of those.
That is fucking cool.
Yeah. They did one of those Reddit GIF versions of that.
The problem is, JP, for you and probably also for me, it would just tell you what flavor of Soylent to drink.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
I've actually been trying
really
to find, not time, but like effort to eat normal food more lately because I've been drinking. When I go on those crazy like 20-hour streams, it's literally just Soylent. And so I end the stream feeling kind of okay, but kind of longing for actual food to chew. But I usually just end up going to sleep and it goes away.
There were at PAX there were people handing out Soylent in front of the convention.
Really?
Really?
They had a team there.
Yeah, trying to hook those gamer kids.
What flavors were they handing out? Did you get any?
Yeah, I got one of the coffee ones, but then I forgot to drink it.
The blackest or what is their
That would be a sweet
It was like-
name for a coffeeist.
What is their
was-
coffeeest? Yeah. I was about to say
Blackest,
I was about to
even
say blackest, and I was like, that's not right at all. There's no way it's called
The
that.
blackest Soylent.
Yeah.
Tastes like death.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
that's on brand for me. I want it. Soylent, give it to me. Heavy metal Soylent.
Oh,
Blood
God.
flavor, corpse flavor. Give it to me.
Were people like into it? People have a real hard time with Soylent. They just don't
I mean, it
understand
was
it.
free, so people were just like, "Yeah, give me this free beverage."
Huh. Interesting.
People have just not embraced the cybernetic future. They're still stuck eating food.
Yeah.
Well, somebody walked past me and he was like, as I took the thing from the guy, it was just he wasn't a Soylent employee. He was just a random PAX attendee. He was like, "Yeah, Soylent's great." I'm like 9 months deep, and I'm like, okay.
What the fuck?
Fucking 9 months deep.
If I ever become that
Haven't touched
guy,
one bit of solid
look,
food.
you guys gotta. If I ever become that guy, you gotta let me know. All right. I do the same for you. Just let me know. I'll figure it out. I'll make sure it doesn't happen.
People are adding me all these great random what the fuck is or who the fuck is things. There's who the fuck is my DndCharacter.com.
I use that. I actually use that every time.
What the fuck is my quest.com. I'm never GMing again. All right, everybody. Today, your fucking task at hand is to walk to the Rift of the Rock Giants, explain your quest to the Eldest Sea Monster, then say the magic word to activate the amorphous boots that are currently in the possession of the king. Only then will the old gods be set free. My +5 sword of fuck all that is glowing.
Nice. It's good.
Boom.
Then what is my D&D character is really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. I use that one a lot for sure. Well, cool. It's time to figure out how to probably leave the city and never talk to Ziva again. Just bye.
You're muted eating my sandwich.
Yeah. Anne's gonna spend the rest of the 3 hours of the show just hanging out with a vampire. It'll be good.
Welcome to Court of Swords, a show about 3 dudes playing D&D while somebody else watches.
Yeah.
So actually, though, Ziva, we're going to start with you. Boys, you can keep your headphones on for this. It's okay. It's not going to make any sense to anybody, least of all Ziva.
Okay.
So, Ziva, our story for you begins once more with darkness. You remember an absence of light. You remember cold, and not just like a little cold, but like shivering, like teeth chattering, like feel it in your bones cold. Like, I wonder if I'm ever going to be warm ever again cold. Like deep winter cold, which Ziva maybe has never felt before if you've lived in this part of the world your whole life. It's a painful atavistic feeling of wanting to escape from whatever place you are in to some other place that has a fire and food and warmth, but you can't. All you remember is that feeling of cold and darkness. And your body retains the cold, but your vision slowly clears, or at least our perception of you clears, and we can see that you're standing on a long and ornate ivory dock. So struts of ivory or some off-white material, wood, but it's polished. You can see it shining, but not from any light source you can detect. There's no sun in the sky. You hold no lantern or torch. There just seems to be an ambient light all around you. And this dock extends out in front of you, maybe 40 or 50 feet. And it stands maybe 10 or 20 feet above the perfectly still mirror surface of a vast body of water, a lake or ocean. But there's no wind and there's no waves. There's just a stillness and the sense of water, the sort of chill wafting off of it. And you're standing on this dock. What do you do?
Is there anyone else like around?
There is not. Okay.
Can I see anywhere I could walk to? Are there any buildings, or just the dock and the water and that's it?
So you look around. The dock goes out to the end of the end of its length, and then there's just water beyond that. Behind you is a heavy bank of grayish fog. You could wander out into it, but you can't see through it or into it from where you're standing.
Do I have any of my belongings? Torches?
No, you hold your hands out. You look down at yourself. You're wearing like a nightgown, like a white nightgown. It's clean, simple. You've never seen it before.
Okay. I'm gonna yell out into the darkness. Hello? Is anyone there?
Your voice seems muffled somehow when you shout, even though you're kind of in an open space. It doesn't echo off the surface of the water. It just seems sort of absorbed by the fog and by the mirror surface of the lake or ocean.
Great. Cool. Well, I'm gonna turn around and walk into the fog.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So you wander out into the fog, and Yeah, that sense of cold starts to overcome you. Like you can feel yourself shaking. The world around you just becomes a gray miasma, and very quickly you become lost in the banks of fog in the clouds. You have no idea where you are or where the dock is, but you're in this deep fog now.
Okay. I don't know, cause I don't know where the dock is, so I can't go back. Can I just keep going? Is there? Let's see.
Like pick a direction and start walking.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that I don't see anything out like in the fog at all. There's no sources of light or anything. It's just kind of.
No, yeah, I mean, you can see your hands if you hold them in front of your face, and you can see your feet and your legs and your body, but you can't see anything else. The ground you're walking on is like a sort of featureless gray expanse, and there's nothing else. But you could pick a direction and you can't tell one direction from another, right? So you could just keep walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just keep walking and also just yelling out in case anyone hears me.
All right. So we start after some time of your wandering in the fog, shaking and cold. We start to hear a faint kind of like wooden sound, something like rattling. It continues it's like the sound of like a wagon traversing a road, like a wagon wheel traversing a road, or maybe a windmill or a water mill clunking along. It's a repeating sound, and you can hear it vaguely in the distance.
Great. I'm going to go toward that.
Okay, sure. So you continue to walk, and I think the first, like the sound gets a bit louder, and then you can hear a humming, someone kind of humming to themselves quietly and sort of tunelessly. And you can walk towards it. And I think that the first sign that you might be emerging from the fog, or you might be approaching something, is that your feet on the ground, you start to feel stone, the cobblestones of a street or a city square, something like that. Still gray and white, is sort of monochrome as you walk towards the sound. Fairly quickly thereafter, a space starts to make itself manifest, a dark shape in the distance, some kind of tall tower or a tree, a branchless tree in the distance, and movement. You can see what looks at a distance like a figure pushing a large wooden wheel around.
Okay. It's like, I'm assuming I'm within earshot, and I just kind of yell out. I'm like, hello? Do you know where I am? Can you tell me where this is?
The shadow thing, whatever it is, you're too far to tell, doesn't seem to notice what you've said or ignores you.
Okay. Can I get, like, closer? Is it the shadow figure is moving? Like, walking?
Yeah. You can get a little closer if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna like run up in front of him if I can.
Okay. Yeah. So you start getting closer. So you start moving more quickly through the fog, and it resolves. You can see there is a tall structure of wood and stone. It seems to be sort of crumbling in places at the top. It's old stone, crumbled in places. Around the base of it, there is a sort of trough. And you can see a figure pushing there's a wooden slat that comes out of the tower, and it just is pushing it around the bottom. And there's a big wooden wheel that's like rolling around in this trough. And it's just like making this rattling, clunking sound. The figure appears to be like a hunchback or something. It's hard to tell. He's wearing gray rags and has like a massive lump on his back, and he's all hunched over. You can't see his face. He's got his head away from you, and he's got these bare feet that are kind of like long and are sort of flapping a little bit as he walks on the stone. And he just keeps pushing this wheel, and it's like rattling and clunking along, and he's going around in circles. And as you get closer, he goes around the other side of the tower. And you can still hear him humming to himself, but you can't you can't see what he's doing.
Okay. Can I go in the tower?
You don't see an entrance anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
It doesn't seem to have a door. The only thing into the tower is this kind of thin like window from which the wooden pole extends horizontally, and then uses it to push it around.
Okay. Can I get in front of the hunchback dude while he's?
Yeah, if you wait, he'll come around. He'll orbit around the other side.
Cool. I'll just wait for him to come back.
Okay, yeah. So the humming is quiet, and then it gets louder again as he comes around the other side. And you can see his hands and his arms. He has these long, spindly arms. His skin is a sort of grayish-green color. And he has several too many fingers on both hands, like 7 or 8 fingers, and they wrap around the outside of this pole. And his fingers end in these sort of yellowish nails. He has a hood up. His like kind of rags. He's got his hood up so you can't see his face.
Okay. I kind of like wave at him. I'm just like, hello? Can you hear me?
He stops. So suddenly the humming and the pushing like stops. And the silence that follows is smothering. It's so absolute, right? The sound, you didn't realize how the sound of the rumbling like had occupied your hearing, and now there's just silence. And he walks towards you. He takes his hands. You watch his hands unpeel from the pole, and he walks towards you with a kind of like odd gait. Like he's standing with his head perfectly still, and the rest of his body is kind of moving under it as he moves towards you. And he gets closer to you, and he looks up, and you can see his face. He's more or less got a human face. You can see sort of scraggly black hair hanging down from his forehead. But instead of a mouth and a nose, he has a kind of like chitinous like beak with 2 kind of rough holes, like nostril holes in it. And he has these sort of watery, like maybe he's blind, they sort of watery cataracted yellow eyes. And he reaches out and kind of like gropes blindly in front of him, like looking for the source of the noise. As you look down, his legs come out from the bottom of his like rag cloth, and he has an extra joint in his legs. Like he has another knee, so his knees kind of bend one way and then the other. And his toes, he only has 3 of them, and they're very long and webbed.
Okay. So I'm gonna stay out of arm's reach. I don't want him to like grab me.
Okay.
But I'm still just like, can you point me in the direction of town? Like kind of backing away from him.
Yeah, and he's turning his head back and forth to try to judge where you are, and like reaching for you, and kind of like taking these flapping like steps around, like lunging back and forth. He doesn't seem to be angry or like aggressive. He's just trying to like figure out where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he stops when he's like kind of like closest to you. And to hear better, he reaches up and peels the hood back from his head. And you can see that from his eyebrows up, his head is just like sliced off, like missing. And instead, you don't see like, you maybe see like the inside of his skull, but you don't see like the back of his eyeballs or like blood or gore or anything. The inside of his head is just a hollowed out bowl. And there seems to be like water in it. And he's standing very carefully so he doesn't spill the water that fills the inside of his head. And so he like takes off. You can see he's got these little ear holes on the side, and he like turns them back and forth, like looking for you. Yeah, all around the ring of his like shorn off head, he has these like stringy, kind of gross, greasy looking bits of black hair.
Okay. Can I do like a check to see if I know what this thing is and whether or not it's dangerous to me?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. Yeah, you have no idea what this thing is. You have no idea where you are or what happened to you. The last thing you remember the House of the Falcon and following off after someone you're having a hard time remembering into the darkness.
Okay. I'm gonna repeat myself now that he's kind of moved his hood out of the way. Like, do you speak common? Can you tell me where the town is?
He stops. He's about like, I don't know, 10 feet away from me. He stops and he like turns. Like he turns his head towards you. He doesn't look at you, but he can definitely tell where you are. And he reaches out with both hands, and his arms are, you know, twice as long as they should be. And he reaches out and he just gestures like at your hands, like he wants you to give him your hands.
Okay. I walk closer very cautiously, and with one hand kind of like reach out.
Okay, sure. Yeah. He wraps his spindly fingers. They're like unusually soft, his hands. And he wraps his spindly fingers around your wrist and your hand and just kind of like pulls you gently towards him. And he kneels down. And again, he's keeping very balanced. So he just kind of like folds down in front of you. And you can actually see now as his kind of robes have fallen away from his shoulders, he has this big black like turtle shell on his back, what you thought was a hump before. And he reaches into his robes and he produces a wooden cup, and he holds it up to you, and like kneels down with his head forward, so his head is kind of at like chest height.
Okay, I take the cup from him.
Okay, sure. It's empty.
Great. I just look at the cup in my hand and I say, okay, so this is empty. And I like hold it like upside down.
Mm-hmm. He gestures sort of theatrically to the top of his head and like kind of like gestures for you to like come close.
Uh-huh. So I look at the cup and I look at his head and I say, don't you need that?
He makes a couple of sort of like desperate, sort of soft, like baby, like grunting noises. He's and like tries to pull you forward, like towards him. Yeah, and you can see like you can get a little closer and take a look, like a better look. But yeah, he's like kneeled down so that you can reach the top of his head.
Okay. It looks like water to me.
It's the same or similar, this sort of mirrored surface. He's keeping it perfectly still. And you look into it, and instead of seeing, well, you see your own reflection, but it looks like you've been like in a really bad fight. You have a terrible wound in your head, and there's blood all over your face. Part of your hair has been like yanked out. There's a big like tear on your scalp. You have a black eye. You're like missing a couple of teeth. But yeah, you look like you're in rough shape.
Great. So I'm like standing closer to him and I look at the cup and I say, okay, are you sure?
He just, yeah, kind of like grunts urgently.
All right, I'm going to dip the cup in the brain juice and then put it away and like look at it in the cup.
So you're going to like scoop some up and then take a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
is.
Yeah, he makes a noise somewhere between like a hiss and a purr as you like scoop the water up out of his head, and he kind of like shudders, whether in fear or pleasure, it's hard to say. And you take a look at the water, and you can feel like it's warm, like body heat warmth through the thin wood of the cup.
Okay, can I stick my finger in it and just see if it happens?
It's just like warm water.
Nothing happens.
And it doesn't, your finger doesn't fall off or anything. It's just like kind of warm water, which is a massive contrast to how cold you've been.
Okay. I like look at my finger and I'm just like waiting to see if anything happens to it. And then I just look at the cup and I just chug it real fast. Okay.
It's like drinking a cup full of warm spit. It's like a little bit thicker than water. And the creature just looks up at you with these big blind eyes while you drink it. You feel like warmth passing through you, and it's like you can feel the cold of the fog sort of going away. And the thing like nods a little bit and gets up and goes back to walks away to the wheel. And you feel the heat that's sort of spreading through you from your stomach out to your fingertips. And you start to feel like a little dizzy, like a little lightheaded. Your skin starts to like tingle and like ache a little bit. Like you start to feel feverish.
Great.
What are you gonna do?
I hand him his cup back, and I say,
he's already forgotten about you. Like he's just turned away and is like humming again and walks back over to the wheel.
Great. Do I feel like okay to keep walking, or you said I feel feverish?
You feel dizzy, like you need to sit down.
Okay. I'll go sit by the tower, but like not in his way.
Okay, you take a couple of steps. Can you make a wisdom save for me?
Can I?
DC 15.
14.
Ooh.
So close. Okay, so you take a couple of steps forward and fall. You fall to your knees. Your legs just don't have the strength to hold you up, and you tumble. And your hands hit the ground, and you start coughing and like retching. And you suddenly feel like there's like something like caught in your throat, like you're coughing on something, like you've eaten something that's like gotten lodged in your throat, and like you're having a hard time breathing. And you can feel like sweat beating on your forehead, and suddenly it's like much too hot, and even this like gown feels like heavy and like scratchy on your shoulders. And you can just see kind of blurrily through the tears in your eyes. You can see the little creature like pushing his wheel. What do you do? Like you can feel like something blocking your throat, like you can't breathe. Like there's something in your throat.
Okay. And there's no other source of like, I don't have anything on me. There's no other source of like water or nothing. Cool. But can I walk?
No, you can crawl.
Okay. Can I like crawl after him?
Yeah, you can crawl towards him. Yeah, you're quickly losing consciousness because you can't breathe. And you crawl forward a little ways. Your arms are trembling, just holding you up. And he's just like making his circuit, and he slowly goes around the other side of the building, and you can just hear him humming, and everything's blurry, and you feel tears like streaming down your face.
Okay. Can I give myself a Heimlich maneuver?
Yeah, I mean the thing is probably like close enough to your mouth you could like reach in and grab it.
Cool. Then I'll try to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So you're like reaching your mouth, and you can feel like I don't know, the back, like the base of your tongue, something like fibrous or something in your mouth. Like you can get a hold of it with a couple of fingers if you like jam most of your hand in your mouth.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I'm a halfling. I have tiny little hands.
It's true. I mean, you also have a tiny little head and a tiny mouth, but whatever. It's fine. Yeah, so you like get a couple of fingers around it, and you can feel it, and you like start to pull. And it's not a comfortable process, or you're yanking something like out of your throat. And so you have to get like both hands on it, and you yank it out. You can feel it like passing by your teeth. Bits of it get caught in your teeth. And something like wet and thick and seemingly like wrapped in a cocoon of like blackish brown hair comes like out of your mouth and like splatters on the ground in front of you. And it starts to move, but before we find out what it is, let's take a break here and we'll finish up the gross stuff when we get back.
Yeah. I quit.
It's gross
I won't
stuff
be
forever.
an hour or two. I quit. Ziva's dead. That's it. Bye, guys. Have a good day. I want to find out.
Preview to the Patreon video. Was this planned before Anne told her story about the spider leg at Bax?
Yeah, totally. Then you pull out a cockroach. No, it's fine.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Talk about it more. Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back and do hour 2 right after this. See you then.